Hi you guys, it's Mrs. Akins. This video is for young fives, kindergarten, and first grade. If you are a second grade or older, go to my channel and go to my playlists and you will find a playlist for your grade. Click on that and then look for lesson number 2. That is this week. So hi young fives, kindergarten, and first grade. We are going to start with a rhythm of the week. So I've got a really cool rhythm this week. I'm excited about this one. So we're going to start with this. So last week we took a look at our quarter notes. Our quarter notes have a note head and then the stem. They're very simple. These say ta. These say ta. So I have a ta here and a ta here. But I have these two funky looking dudes. So these are called rests. And rests are silent. They do not make any sound. So here's how we're going to do our writing underneath today. So we're going to start with our ta. And I got to put another ta here because I've got another quarter note. And then I've got my two rests. So what I'm going to do to help remind myself, hey, these have to be quiet, I'm going to actually put a little lowercase r underneath for rest. Rest. So let's take a look at that. So I have ta, rest, ta, rest. Can you say that with me? Ready, go. Ta, rest, ta, rest. Nice. So whisper those rests. Don't say them as loud as the tas. Let's try that one more time. Ready, go. Ta, rest, ta, rest. That was pretty good. Now let's see. Do you want to try clapping on the tas? Let's do that. So see if you can do it. So we're going to do it. Ta, we're going to clap on the ta. Woo. Ta, and then on the rest, bring your hands apart like you're going to do a double high five to someone. Okay? So you'll do ta, rest, ta, rest. Will you try that with me? Ready, go. Ta, rest, ta, rest. Yeah, nice job. That was really good. So that gets us used to these rests too, because the rests might seem kind of boring at first because they don't make any sound, but they help make music interesting and fun. So nice job on the rhythm of the week. So we're going to move on to something that we haven't done yet, but I want you to go do me a favor. And if you have something, really you can use anything you want, but we're going to do some beat buddies today. So I have, this is Gerald, and he is going to help me today. So if you if you didn't read the description first, which is fine, pause the video and go find a friend to be a beat buddy. Okay? Once you have your beat buddy, we're going to practice. I'm going to actually hold my hand up because you can't see my knees. Usually I'd bounce them on my knee, but you can't see them. So we're going to practice doing in groups of 4. We're going to do our counts just like this. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Will you try that with me with your buddy? Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Can you make sure that your buddy is tapping your hand or your knee? You can use your knee if you want to, but if you wouldn't be able to see poor Gerald if he was all the way down there. So I'm holding on, but you can tap your knee. Can you make sure that your buddy is hitting your hand or your knee right when we say the number? So try it with me again. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like that. Can we let's do 8 counts. Ready? Can you do 8? Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice job. Can you move your buddy up to your shoulder? And can you try 8 counts on your shoulder? Let's try it. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well done, Gerald. Nice. Can you tell your buddy good job too? They're doing awesome. Can you move your buddy up to your nose? Can you are you sure? Do you think they can do it? Gerald really wants to do 16 counts. Do you think you could do 16? All right, I'm trusting you. Okay, 16 counts on our nose. Will you try it with me? Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Nice job. Will you tell your buddy, nice job? Well done, Gerald. Good hopping. That was really nice. You can maybe try on your own this weekend to find a couple other places, maybe on your elbow where your buddy, or down on your toe where your beat buddy can hop, and try doing those counts. And you want to keep them nice and steady. Our beat buddies are helping keep that steady beat. Nice job. Nice job, Gerald. All right, I'll see you later, buddy. So this week we're going to talk about Scott Joplin. So you might recognize Scott Joplin. He was on my board for a while, and we didn't really get time to talk about him before we ended up taking off. So Scott Joplin was a really influential composer, and I really love listening to his music, and I think you will too. So let's talk a little bit about him. So Scott Joplin was actually born in Texas. He was born in the USA, which is cool because we don't actually get to talk about a lot of composers that are born in the same country we live in. A lot of composers that we talk about were born way over in Europe, and that's just pretty far away, and it's kind of hard for us to think about all of that. So it's kind of fun to think about a composer that lived in the U.S. So Scott Joplin wanted to be, he loved music from a very young age, and his parents kind of taught him a little bit of music, but they weren't musicians, so they didn't really have a ton of musical knowledge to share with him. But they had a piano at home, and so Scott Joplin loved to play the piano, and actually he played the piano so much that it kind of drove his mom crazy, and she would say, "Stop, we're gonna have to figure out a system." So they ended up deciding that Scott Joplin was only allowed to play the piano at home when his mother was cleaning. And all other times, he had to not play the piano. So he was a little bummed, but he was glad that he still got to play it. So as he got a little older, he wanted to learn more about music and more about the piano. And so he ended up seeking out some music teachers that were in his area and learning a little bit more from them. He ended up teaching himself more instruments. He taught himself how to play the violin. He taught himself how to play the trumpet. And so he was learning more and more music. And he actually, it took him a little while to become a more well-known musician, because actually for a while he worked building railroads. And so he wasn't doing music for a while, but he was still playing music on the side because he loved it so much. So some people in his area started to get to know him a little bit better and actually wanted to take piano lessons from him. So he actually started a little studio of piano students in his area, and he actually taught piano to quite a few people at the time, and that ended up becoming his full-time job. And what was nice about this is it gave him time to compose, to write his own original music. So he started writing what are called rags. And a rag in music is not what you dust off your bookshelves with. A rag in music is music that feels a little funky. It's got the notes in weird places in the music, and so it makes it just sound really unique. It'd be almost like if you were wearing one shoe and not wearing another shoe, that shoe on your other foot. You'd have one foot with a shoe, one foot without a shoe. You'd be kind of walking a little, it'd probably feel kind of funky, wouldn't it? That's kind of how ragtime feels in music. It's just got this really unique sound. So as Scott Joplin is teaching piano lessons, he starts to do these compositions, and he ends up writing this song called the Maple Leaf Rag. And this rag was super, super, super popular. Everyone wanted to hear this rag or to play this rag. It ended up becoming one of the most famous pieces of music sold at that time. It's like if there's a song on the radio that you know because you hear it all the time, that's kind of the way the Maple Leaf Rag was. It was just everywhere. Super, super, super popular. So Scott Joplin continued to compose, and he ended up moving up to Chicago and to New York City to continue his compositions. He ended up writing a couple of ballets that used ragtime, and he actually wrote 2 operas that used ragtime as well, and no one had ever seen an opera use ragtime. So it was really, really unique. Actually, he one of his operas that he wrote was at the very end of his career, and he ended up writing it and not really having the money or the means to put it on stage. Operas are a lot of work. You have to have musicians down in the pit underneath the stage. You've got to have singers that are on the stage to sing and act out your story, and you've got to do costumes, and you've got to do all the set design to really create the story. And unfortunately, he just didn't have the resources to put that all together. And unfortunately, he never actually got to see his opera performed. It wasn't until the 1970s, almost 60 years later, that someone finally put his opera on stage fully orchestrated and with all of the costumes and set and all the story. So he never actually got to see it, which is a bit of a bummer. But what Scott Joplin did get to experience was how influential he was with his ragtime music. People still perform ragtime today. You can find all sorts of cool videos of people turning songs that aren't rags into ragtime and really giving them that funky style. I actually had, this was a while ago, but I had a piano book of Christmas songs that got turned into rags. So it was like Jingle Bells, but the ragtime version. And I really loved them. They were fun to play, and it was cool listening to Christmas songs that I knew get turned into a fun new style. What else is really cool is that back when Scott Joplin was teaching piano lessons, he actually, without even knowing it, was teaching a bunch of students that would go on to become famous composers and famous pianists, and he didn't even know at the time. It's just really cool to see how big of an influence he had, even without really knowing it. And sometimes I think we do too. We have a positive influence on people that maybe we don't even realize yet. So that's really cool. So what I want you to do this week is I want you to take a look at the videos that I have linked for you in the description. Take a watch of those and listen for that really cool syncopated ragtime style. I think you're really gonna like it. They're fun. And then let me know what you think. I'll have an assignment on Google Classroom that I'll link you to that I can, you can tell me a little bit what you thought. Did you feel that funky style or not? I can't wait to can't wait to hear what you thought about it, because I just think they're really fun. So anyway, until next week, I will see you later. Bye, you guys.